Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another Let's Talk Habs series video with the hockey coach, your coach FRENCHY for the Hockey Nation Live Show. Today, I'm talking about the general manager, the finalist from Jeff Gorton. This is my prediction for you guys, so don't go nowhere. I'm going to talk about Montreal is back on the ice right now to prepare for the game they're going to play in Boston Wednesday night at 7 o'clock at the TD Garden in Boston. So don't go nowhere. Welcome back, and first of all, we want to invite you, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and finally tell us what you think about my finalist prediction of the general manager for the Montreal Canadiens. And like I mentioned earlier, yes, the Montreal Canadiens are back in Boston Wednesday night after a couple of days off because of the situation with the team, honestly, for the first 10 days in the 2022. And we expect possible Dvorak, Armia, and Hoffman back in the lineup. They are right now on the ice with the team. Obviously, Anderson is back on the ice, but cannot play at that moment. So expect those three players just mentioned should be back with the Montreal Canadiens for the game Wednesday night. But most important thing today, I want to talk about my four finalists about the prediction for the general manager for the Montreal Canadiens. In the next couple of days, I'm going to tell you who I believe should be the general manager for the Montreal Canadiens. So let's dive in talking about the list of the prediction of the Montreal Canadiens. First of all, I want to mention this, guys. The first thing is Jeff Gorton. I met most of them for what I know at that moment. This recording is a Monday, January 10, 2022, for what we know. So he met already Dash, LUONGO, Kendall, Denis, Roy, Sauvageau, Castonguay, Ken Hughes. And that's what we know at that moment. The second thing I want to mention to you right now, my second round, they are my four finalists for that round. It should be LUONGO, BRIERE, DARCHE, and Ken Hughes. I'm going to talk a little bit more about each one of them, the reason why I believe they should be on the second round. First of all, Robert LUONGO is an ex-NHL player. We know what Gorton said. He's looking for the ex-NHL players and also an ex-possible agent player. That's what he's targeting at that moment. LUONGO right now, since he retired as a hockey player with the Florida Panthers, works with the team and office. He's occupied front position inside the hockey for the Florida Panthers. Assistant GM, then after that, he can remove to do other things. And charge also about the committee of the goaltender committee of the Florida Panthers with Robert Dallas. And finally, also he get part of the Team Canada working with them as the manager for the team. So a lot of fun pushing LUONGO does in the last couple of years and in the world of the hockey. What we like from him is really, first of all, pay really at the details of the game. He's a really good evaluator about the pro players. What I believe he should get better if he wants to go to the next job is to know more about the prospect around the junior and players around the world, and then also learn more about the management, the run the business, the hockey operation, in hockey. So that's what he's lack at that moment. Not say he cannot become a great general manager, but that's what he need to get improved a little bit more. For experience, management, and learning more about prospect, that's something he need to get, maybe to get the next job and the general manager at some point with any team in NHL. The next one I want to talk about is Mathieu Darche. Darche is an ex-NHL player, played for fun team like Tampa Bay and the Montreal Canadiens. Worked at that moment in the office for the Tampa Bay Lightning as an assistant general manager. Also run the team in the American Hockey League for the Tampa Bay Lightning at that moment. Works for them for a couple of years now. Also, he's managed all the hockey business, like I mentioned, AHL, but also about contract and salary cap, everything like that and collaboration with Julien Brisebois. He's a great evaluator about prospect and also about the players in NHL around. So he has a little bit more experience compared to other people are in the on the interview for Jeff Gordon. What you need to improvement for me, honestly, that's pretty much what you need. Experience. Be a part of this as about the last 3 years. I believe that's what Dash need a little bit more. But other than fact like this, he knows everything what he need to become a general manager. Can he be the selection of the Gordon? I don't know yet. But that's one of my top 4 for the second round for the Montreal Canadiens. The next one I want to talk about is Daniel Briere, ex-NHL player. We know his career. He did with a different team in NHL, like Montreal, Buffalo, Philadelphia. Works right now as a general manager for the MAINE Mariner and the East Coast Hockey League. What you need to improve, Daniel, first of all, now have a lot of experience as a management on different position in hockey. And he just started a couple of years ago. What you need to learn from me is more about evaluation, about the prospect and the pro players, because he's a manager at the East Coast Hockey League. That's a great place to learn to become general manager one day in NHL. But I think for me at that moment, what you need, Daniel, is more about experience, other than the fact he has every qualities at one day to become a general manager in NHL. Finally, the last one I want to talk about is Kent Hughes. He's a player in the NHL at that moment for many, many years, even involved with hockey. He have a couple of sons play college at that moment for the Boston College. Jack Hughes his son should be the top prospect in NHL for the upcoming draft. Customer, he has already under the NHL player, our example, Patrice Bergeron, Chris Letang, and many others. He is a great about hockey business, he knows how they works a contract. Of course, he does it for many years as an agent, so you know how to deal with people, business side, everything like that. One thing he has compared to the 3 others I just mentioned earlier, he have a great connection already with Jeff Gordon. This since like years ago when Jeff was working with the Boston Bruins at the beginning of the 2000 with the Bruins. So that's what they have in connection. What really I believe he should learn more for Hughes. It's about the another side of the business where he's always been an agent. Now you need to learn a bit more like the prospect evaluation, the NHL players, everything like that, how you develop to learning about which player is great, what you need to get, or how you be a good fit inside the team, everything like that. That's maybe what Ken Hughes does not have. But most of them already, maybe only one have a good prospect eye at that moment. It's more Mathieu Dash at that moment. And finally, what about the other coach? What about Denis, Quintal, Castonguay, Sauvageon, and Patrick Roy? Here's the rest. I just don't see them to be a part of the second round for the Jeff Gordon evaluation for to become the next GM. I think the not experience they have yet, and the fact they've never been on that side of any place to be a GM, that's hurt them at that moment. Kendall, we know he worked for the NHL on the safety program. I understand that, but never been a GM before. McDonough worked for the Montreal Canadiens for many years as an analyst on the TV. Never been a GM before. Sauvageon been involved with hockey coach, Team Canada, woman, everything that she understands this, but never been about the GM, everything that. Emily Castonguay, this is the runner where I believe in the next couple of years she can become. For me, because she's an agent right now as an NHL, she's only 38 years old, and she wants to build that kind of business she does. I don't see her interested to get that job. I think she appreciates the fact she have an interview and she have a lot of great thing about the law, the firm she run, the contract in NHL. That's helping her. But to become a GM at that moment, for me, that's maybe not what she's looking for. I'm talking about what I assume. I know I could be right or wrong here. I just feel like at her age, she has so many other years in front of her. She can maybe one day become a GM in NHL. Well, not yet. And this is the biggest question. A lot of fans in Montreal want Patrick Roy become a GM as a Montreal Canadiens. I don't see it. But it's not because he cannot be a GM maybe he can become the coach for Montreal Canadiens. I don't see how Roy can be a GM for Montreal Canadiens, but I see him possible to be a head coach in Montreal Canadiens. People thinking he will talk, you know, in front of players, everything like that. It will be, you know, that kind of passion he has, the dedication, everything, and the kind of arrogance and what he loved to play and the competition he have inside him will carry on to the players. As a GM, you don't do that. And that's what the fans have to understand, that part. I don't see Patrick Roy part of that as a GM. Again, I could be wrong here. I just give you an idea what I believe Jeff Gorton is going to be on the second round. Finally, I put next Boucher and Dory. I'm going to explain a bit more later the next couple of days, weeks, about those two candidates. Both of them should be a part of Montreal Canadiens. Guy Boucher could be a great asset. Is it in the management? Is it coaching? I don't know yet. I believe both of them, Boucher should be one a part of this job. Secondly, Daniel Doré. We know he worked with Jeff Gorton as a scouting over there for the New York Rangers for many years. They have that kind of connection. I believe Doré could be a great element add on the department of scouting for the Montreal Canadiens. Is it possible this possible happening? I don't know yet. But I just wanted to mention about that situation with Daniel Doré with the Montreal Canadiens guys. Guys, this complete another great comments about the next general manager of the Montreal Canadiens. Excuse me. So what I'm thinking is 4 of them is going to be the second round. I believe DARCHE, LUONGO, BRIERE, and Ken Hughes are my finalists of the job at that moment. I'm going to give you my prediction the next couple of days, who I believe should be the general manager for the Montreal Canadiens. Please let me know what you think about my selection. Give me your comments. Don't forget to click on the likes if Finally, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show on YouTube channel and on Facebook page. And, of course, you have greatness inside of you. Thank you so much for watching another video with the Hockey Coach Guru, Coach FRENCHY for the Hockey Nation Live Show. And I look forward to seeing you the next time for another video for the series called Let's Talk Habs. Have an amazing, great, blessing day. Ceci complète un autre vidéo avec l'entraîneur Coach FRENCHY pour la Hockey Nation Live Show. Mais avant de partir, je vous invite, n'oubliez pas de vous abonner. Cliquez sur le petit pouce en haut si vous avez bien aimé la vidéo. Finalement, dites-moi ce que vous pensez de ma prédiction des 4 candidats finales pour l'obtention du poste de gérant général du Montréal Canadien. Merci d'avoir regardé une autre vidéo et je vous attends pour la prochaine vidéo de la série qui s'appelle Let's Talk Habs. Bonne journée, mes amis.